So my project is making a Windsor chair. The first thing I'd start with is the back piece, because that's the only piece that I need to bend, and it has to dry for like a couple days to like maybe a couple weeks, I don't know. So the first thing that you do is really like find out what wood you need to use. You would use preferably like a hardwood, like a walnut or something. And the first thing that you do is get like a steam box. You can either make one or buy one. It's just like a box that you put a ton of steam in. And then you just put it in there for maybe a couple hours, depending on like what wood you use and how hard it is. And then after it comes out, you just put clamps on it, and then it like you bend it. And then you just take it, and then you just let it dry. Next thing that I would do is make the spindles and the legs, and to do this, I would be using the lathe. You would use a softer wood, because it's easier to shape on the actual lathe. So you start out with like square pieces, and then you start using the spindle roughing gouge to make them cylinders. You kind of just put it on there, and then you use planer cuts, and then yeah. For the just back spindles, I would probably just make them normal cylinders, nothing special. And for the legs, I would also use a skew chisel and make rolling bead cuts. And I would probably also use the spindle roughing gouge more to kind of make it go smaller. Use more planer guts to make it go smaller as it goes down farther. For the seat, you also would want a harder wood because, you're sitting on it. When you carve it out, you call it saddling. You start by, making marks and just planning everything out, like how deep you want it. Lightly saddled, I would make probably a lightly saddled seat because they're easier to sit in for like longer purposes, and the chair that I'd be making would be very like comfortable. So the like deepest part of the chair would only be about 5/8 of an inch deep, and then the place for your thighs would be 3/8 of an inch deep. And the two most common tools are the adze and the scorp. I would probably use a scorp. It looks like a draw knife, but it's just bent, so you got like the two handles right here, and then the blade kind of like comes around like that, and then you just like pull it. So yeah, after that you would use like a pull shave to with the scorp you'd be able to get most of it like carved out and everything, and then you'd probably use like a pull shave to like get finer cuts and just carve it out a bit more. And then you just gotta drill the holes. I just use a drill, kind of plan them, not get them too deep. The hardest part would be angling like the legs and the seat, because the legs I would need angled, so because I would want the seat to be angled back 5 degrees, because the back spindles would be angled back 15 degrees, just, so you can like lean back farther so it's more comfortable. And then because you're leaning the seat back like about 15 degrees, you need the actual seat to be angled a little bit, so you don't just like slide off when you start going back. For a formal chair, I'm not making a formal chair, I'm making a comfortable chair. For a formal chair, you would not for the seat, you wouldn't angle it, and then you would only have about 5 degrees for the back angled, because you want to have it much like sturdier. You'd also have a higher back on a formal chair, and just, so it would promote like leaning forward. And then after that, you would kind of just put it together. I'd already have all the pieces and everything finished, so you'd kind of just put things in the holes that they were supposed to go in, and put some glue in there, let it rest, and yeah. And that's my project.